All right, everybody, welcome to the funnest night of the week. Where else can you have dinner with 100 close friends and family members? I call it the largest dinner party on the planet. It's the night that we get to have fun, we get to celebrate, we get to showcase some great cooks and some great kitchens, and we get to pair that with wine and learn even more about wine and food pairing. Welcome to the Wine and Dine show. We've got some great things happening for you this month or this week. One second, I got a hand up. And we're going to share some great stuff with you. But before we get that going, there we go. Before we get that going, we're going to toast to kick everything off. And we're going to have that done by none other than our CEO, Mr. Rory Rickard. He should be here now and able to unmute and welcome.
All right, hey guys.
There he is.
I'm coming to you. We have a lot of things pressing before I leave on Saturday, so I'm getting some errands done. Wanted to be out here, be here for the toast. Niall's gonna be raising the glass for us. I love what we do, and I love these. I love our wine and dine so much. And today, to knock off a celebration or to get the month going right, we have a huge announcement. And Peter, you're on, right?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, so I'm gonna have you raise your glass up, and in proxy with Niall for me. This toast is to an incredible 2021, and I cannot wait until we see what we do in 2022. And we've got a huge announcement. So toast of the year, we're going to have a very awesome month with Niall hosting and all this incredible foods for the holidays. And then we have a very big announcement after the toast.
Cheers.
So cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so here goes. And I normally I was going to wait till the end of this, but I wanted to let you guys just think about it while you're seeing all the pairings. So we had a promotion for Black Friday, Cyber Monday for that time, and we threw in that incredible bottle of that Grand Cru Pinot Noir with the Discoveries label. And Peter's gonna, we're gonna be highlighting it and going through there. And we had our powwow. Not only were we excited to do that promotion, which several people took advantage of. There's several cases going out with that in there right now. We wanted to do something to end the year really good and more just to celebrate and a way to do that. I don't know of a better gift than wine. So as a token of appreciation and also to get the word out for more new customers this month and to reactivate customers that may have turned their smart ship off for whatever reason, or it didn't go through and they got to go back and re-add all their information in. That's the rules of the game with merchant processing these days. We are going to do the following, and this is for every shipment except for all whites. So if you're on all whites, this does not apply. All right, we're going to honor you with all whites. So this Grand Cru Pinot Noir, it's a red, clearly. So all shipments this month, we bumped out one of the red selections that was going to be delivered. We're going to include the Pinot Noir, the Grand Cru, Discoveries label Pinot Noir, in all wine shipments that go out from December 1st to the 31st. And while supplies last, I'll put that on there in case we run out. We love this wine a lot. And this means that a lot of you that didn't get a chance to taste it or didn't take advantage of the promotion, maybe you weren't ready for a custom case, it's going to come in your delivery. If you're in all whites, you might want to change. You're going to get a $350 value Pinot Noir in the shipment this month. Now, for those of you that have a lot of friends that may not have their smart ship going and they're not getting an order, this would be a time to turn it back on. They're going to get an incredible value. So you guys hear it now. It'll show up as we got some banners that'll be going out in the next day or so. But I want you guys to all know this is on. And from all of us at Wine Ambassador Corporate to you, happy holidays. We want you to enjoy this with those meals and celebrate. And I mean, we get to do this. So I'm just, you guys, that's it. We'll put more information out. God bless.
Thank you. We get to do it. We get to do it every day, all day. 365, 24/7. Oh, a Pinot Noir. That's fantastic, you guys. A $350 bottle of Pinot Noir coming in your order for doing what we were going to be doing anyway. Whew. So I'm sure we have few new people here. I've seen some new faces as they were logging in. Welcome to the Wine and Dine. It's an incredible thing. I remember the day Rory got a hold of me and told me when I called him and said, hey, what's all the excitement on Facebook? What are you doing now? I think I already knew I was going to be coming out of retirement again just because of how excited he was about something. But when he said that we had wine to market as a product, I pulled over on the side of the road, whipped out my credit card and said, I can't believe what you just said. Sign me up. I'm in. That I've never in my 32 years had anything so exciting and fun and social and just relevant, not just to our lives and our diets and our health, but relevant to what's going on in the world than wine as a product to market. So I'm really excited to be a part of it. I love wine, guys. You hear Tanya say that all the time. She introduces herself with, hi, I'm Tanya. I love wine. Well, guess what? Hi, I'm Niall. I love wine. I love chocolate too, but I really love wine. So this is a great thing to be a part of. And we got some great cooks lined up tonight. I think what we're going to do for the rest of this month is going to really showcase some incredible wines. So you want to get a lot of new people on here. You want to make sure that you get everybody in your teams on here and celebrate this company with us, because we're going to be sharing and showcasing a lot of incredible wines for the rest of December. Tonight, we're going to start out with a delicious Cabernet Sauvignon, which is one of our label winners. For those of you who don't know, if you're new, if you're a guest and you haven't heard yet, when you put in the kind of work that this lady did and you introduce a lot of people to this wine company, you get your name put on a label forever. Forever. The Donna Walker Cab Sav will be shipped out to all members of Wine Ambassador from now until eternity. So that's the wine that we're going to be featuring tonight, and we've got some delicious dishes to go with it. We're going to start off with our appetizers. So let's swing out to Texas with the other gold jersey that you see on the screen, Miss Stacy Southworth. You don't have just an appetizer. You're muted. Let me unmute you.
Thank you.
There you go.
I actually have 4 appetizers, because when you're having people over at the holidays, you are actually probably not serving just one thing. So I was only going to do 3, but then I had got some aged cheddar cheese. I still had some hard salami, and I just wrapped them up in a couple different ways, put them in a toothpick so that they're easy to eat. And then I just garnished it with sweet peppers. They are not hot. They are actually full of vitamin C. So this is kind of a keto-friendly, kind of a quick appetizer. The next one I did, I'll just go down here. I did a Chex Mix, but I did it Texas style. I did it with barbecue seasoning and not Chex Mix seasoning. And that was real easy to just throw the Cheez-Its, the pretzels, the rice Chex, and oyster crackers. So there are no peanuts or anything in it either, so it's nut friendly. Threw them in the oven every 15 minutes, mixed it up. And now they're just cooling down. My third one is meatballs that have been in the slow cooker all day. And they're really good. And then, my husband is really getting into the Christmas mode. The boys are so used to their dad being kind of a Scrooge, but he's all dressed up.
Good job, David.
But yeah. The fourth thing I'm going to make here is a cheese ball. People get afraid of making cheese balls because they can be overcomplicated. The complicated part of this is just pronouncing the name of the cheese and finding it. Down here in South Texas, finding this kind of cheese, queso, you can find all different kinds of queso. But this kind of cheese it's Gruyere. I think I said it right. And I'm using my Pampered Chef cheese shredder, and I'm grinding it up, and I'm mixing it in with some cream cheese. I'll put some garlic in it, and it actually called for some Kirsch. I had to Google what Kirsch was, and they said it's a clear brandy. Well, again, where we are, we could find clear tequila. But my husband found plum brandy.
Oh, nice.
It smells so good. This could be a good mixer later. But I'm just gonna combine it all and shape it into a ball and roll it in pecans, and it'll be ready in just a few minutes.
Fantastic. And you're gonna taste each one of those with the Donna and let us know how it pairs up with each one, right?
Yep. Oh, and it also calls for a quarter clove of garlic, but I love garlic, so it's gonna get a full clove with my.
Yeah, it just got better.
So,
I'll tell you what, guys, I'll also share this. If you look in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you see the 3 little dots and you pin a post. When someone's speaking, like Stacy just was, it'll blow it up on 3/4 of your screen, and you can just get a real close-up of anything that she's holding up. So thank you, Stacy. We'll be back in a few minutes to see how that cheese ball turned out, and then see how it tastes with the Donna. So now we're going to run over to the north, to the Midwest. What is Ohio called? We're going up to the Great Lakes region and talk to one of our favorite people, Miss Linda Horn, who's put together a fantastic, typical December dish that all of us have already been talking about. Linda, what you got cooking in your kitchen?
I got chili in the kitchen. In Ohio, it's like 20s and 30s. It's time for soup.
Doesn't matter what state you live in, everybody's talking about chili right now.
Yeah, and chili is so versatile. I mean, you can put anything in it you want. Sure, of course, you got to have your beans, right? I always put 2 cans of beans in. I put a pound of ground beef. Just recently, one of my friends had butchered a whole beef, and then he got a deer, and he needed to get rid of some of that beef. So he sold me a pound, $2 a pound, and I got 20 pounds off of him. So I'll be good for a little minute. But I always brown the meat first so that grease doesn't go into my chili. There's enough other oils and stuff in there. Okay. So we got a pound of the ground meat, maybe 2, just depends on how much meat you'd like in it. Always put 2 cans of beans, always rinse them off so that oil's off of them. In this one, I have crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce. Now, if you want to spice it up, I have used the V8 spicy as well. I always use tomato soup in mine. I always put a can of tomato soup in to thicken it up a little bit. I just don't like watery. I want to make sure I got some body to my soup. You can use garlic powder, but I prefer real garlic. So as much as you want in there. Of course, chili powder. And what I do with my chili powder, and when I ground my meat before I put it into the crock pot, I douse my meat with that. So that flavor just goes all through it. You can add crushed red peppers if you'd like, those little flakes. I like white pepper, so I got some white pepper in there. You can mix it up and put a jar of salsa in there if you'd like. I'm not one that likes a lot of stuff in mine. My belly can't handle it. So I did not use the salsa this time. I didn't use onions. I do not like green peppers. So I didn't put any stuff like that in. If you don't have real garlic, you can always use the garlic powder as well. I put it in the crock pot, put it all, let it go, and I cook it on high for like 4 hours, and then I knock it down and let it simmer. And then once it's really boiling, then I just turn it down and onto warm. And what I do with my chili is I put it in a bowl. And I like a little bit of chili with my crackers. Yeah, I like a lot of crackers. I prefer Ritz crackers. You can do whatever you'd like, but I kind of go hog wild with crackers. That's just me. I do that with every soup. I don't need a broth because it's all soaked up in the crackers. But if I can get these open, okay, so those don't come open on these. Easier paper. So I just crumple up the crackers in there, and then I top it off with cheddar cheese. Everything goes better with cheddar, right? So, and if I have too much acid in there,
Chili over Fritos. I've seen that. We might be losing you, Linda. Can you hear her okay?
I know, I think we've lost her. Let's see when she comes back.
All right, so well, that looks delicious. Hopefully we can get Linda back real quick because I can't wait to see how that tastes with the Donald Walker Cab Sav. But now we almost got the party complete. We got great appetizers. We got a nice chili dinner on a cold winter day to start off December. But it's not complete until we have dessert, is it? So now we're going to head out west and we're going to talk to our wonderful IT expert extraordinaire and wine extraordinaire and cook and great guy in the kitchen. I don't know what he can't do. Mr. Peter Antonio, he's got something he's whipping up, and him and Adele, are whipping up in their kitchen.
Yeah, well, since I had Adele here visiting me for a little while, it's through Thanksgiving, I wanted to take advantage and make one of her recipes. Whenever we go somewhere or need to have a dessert for the holiday, she would always make this. So I was going to start to do it. I said, wait a second, I got you here. Why am I going to make it? I'll let you do the honors. I'll do the grunt work. I'll be the sous chef. She's the artist here. So this dessert, it's called the Brown Derby. It was named after the restaurant that was famous in Hollywood in the 1920s, and it still is around today, as far as I know. I don't know if some version of this ever existed at the restaurant, but this is what we've had pretty much every holiday since I was little. So here, I'll let you talk about it a little and show them what we're making here.
Okay. Basically, it's chocolate cake and whipped cream, strawberries, bananas, and just plain good.
So, yeah, so she's already taken one of the two layers and cut part of it off to make all these crumbs, which we're going to use later. These are all cake crumbs here in this bowl.
Well, can they see it?
Yeah, they can see it because I got an overhead view. This becomes the bottom layer, the one that's cut opened, and I will let you start showing how it goes together.
Okay. Basically, we need the whipped cream.
Okay. Which I just whipped.
It's real whipped cream, by the way.
Nothing but.
Nothing but.
Yeah. And as sweet as you want it. It doesn't have to be overwhelmingly sweet if you like it a little less sweet. And I keep my sugar whenever I use vanilla beans, I take the leftover vanilla bean and I leave it in my sugar bowl. So my sugar always has a little vanilla flavor.
For some of us who just use vanilla out of a jar, bottle. But
this is maybe easier to spread with.
go ahead.
Okay. The trouble is you're dealing with a crumbly cake here, and
Are you saying, Adele, that Peter's taste buds just wouldn't tolerate vanilla out of the bottle?
Probably not.
everything. She always keeps telling me any normal person would do this or any normal person would do that, but
You know how it is.
Normal's no fun. So,
you know, that's one thing I've never heard anybody say is when describing Peter, use the word normal.
I know, you're right. You're absolutely right.
okay, so here's,
Extraordinaire is the word I hear more often, but never normal.
Anyhow, so the whipped cream is on the bottom. Then we're gonna put the strawberries.
Normal's never fun, right, Deanna?
exactly, yeah.
See, we might as well have him just do it.
It's your recipe. So I while we were talking earlier, I did a lot of the slicing and made the whipped cream. And I cooked the cake yesterday because hot cake does not work with this.
And so what did I do?
So Adele, you said Peter has been eating this since he was very, very little.
Yes, he was. He has.
So you're also letting us know Peter wasn't born about 25, 26, 27 years old as a programmer?
No, I don't think so. Or maybe he was. He just didn't tell us.
Well, when I was learning the program when I was much younger than that, but give away my age a little, computers weren't really around that much when I was a kid. The PC didn't come out till I was in high school.
So did he ever tell you?
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one. Go ahead, Adele.
When he was in high school, he was in a computer class. And so they took from the office, they took him out of the computer class and they had him program things in the office for them.
Yeah, one of them was an attendance tracking software to see who was absent on any given day. And the first day we kicked it off, the first name that came out of there was my brother.
He was very annoyed.
Still hasn't gotten over that one.
He built a program to snitch on his brother.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, everybody wishes they could have done that.
Okay, so we have our layer of fruit and another cake here. It's going to go on top of that. You need more fruit and more cream or more cream? Okay.
Joel said, did you add in a bug in there somewhere to hide you on your absences so you never showed up?
No, I was never absent in school.
I knew that was going to be the answer.
Would you believe I just now wrote, saw a letter from the principal that Peter never had a day off, that he wasn't there. So.
Wow.
Okay, you're just going to pile up the cream or even more fruit?
Yeah.
More fruit, okay. So we're on layer 2. Another cake, more bananas, more strawberries coming. And then more whipped cream. This is, if you don't like whipped cream, or chocolate, this is not a dessert for you. But if you don't, what's wrong with you?
What did you call that, Adele? More yummy.
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
Deanna Young says, love you and miss you.
Who said?
Deanna.
Deanna Young.
Isn't that nice? Tell her ditto.
She can hear you. She's typing.
We have her muted, so.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't let everybody talk.
Who's
Just a loud mouth, Deanna. Well, there's only so much we can allow across the border here.
Yeah, and if we opened up her camera and mic, then Taco would just take over the call. We just can't let that happen.
Well, and that would be too much. No. So here, I'll let you. Speaking of my brother. And now even more whipped cream. A lot of it.
No calories here.
I agree.
Hey, you agree?
I agree with both of you. I agree with you and I agree with Deanna. She said taco's cool. And I agree. That's why I said he
Oh,
would take
yeah.
What's cool?
Oh, yeah, we were talking about our various dogs earlier before you came on, so.
it.
So anyway, and she's putting this together, and while she continues to do the mound up more whipped cream than you really think you should put on something.
No such thing.
Why don't we
I
talk
agree
a
with
little
you,
about the
Adele.
club?
Adele, finish the whipped cream. Make sure there's none left. Get as much whipped cream on that cake as you can. I agree. There's no such thing as too much whipped cream.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
Yummy, 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 more yummy.
You got it.
So while she works on that, why don't you tell them about the club?
Yeah. So I told you guys earlier how much I love wine, and I love this as an opportunity. So if you're brand new again, or you're a guest here and you're just looking into it, welcome to the Wine and Dine show, where we shared all these great recipes and we're pairing with great wine. Those wines come from a company that we are all a part of here called Wine Ambassador. Wine Ambassador is a wine of the month club. We don't sell wine. We sell memberships to a wine of the month club. And it's more than a wine in the month club. It's a lot more, actually. It's a wine education club, because with every shipment of wine that we get tasting notes that tell us what foods pair best with that wine and why. So we get to learn more about the different wines, more about pairing them with different foods. And it's a fun thing to have, if you have friends over for dinner, or even if you're at a restaurant and you know that the waiter is recommending the wrong wine to go with your dinner, it's a fun thing to correct him. But it's also a fun thing to share with your friends and family as they come over, knowing a little bit about the wine, telling the history of the winemaker or how the wine's made and why it pairs well with what we're having for dinner. It's a fun thing to share with people. So it's a very social product, and that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. But I like the fact that we have a company that we can take into the future. We can take into many generations to come. Wine's never going to go away. I say this to a lot of people, and I'll say it again tonight. Wine has been around for a long time. Jesus turned the water to wine a long time ago, right? It's been around way before us. Well, guess what? It's going to be around way after us too. And Wine Ambassador is building a company that's going to be here way after us also. They're building a company that's going to take delicious fine wines from Napa Valley, California, and spread it all over the globe. Until we are in every country, on every continent, we're not going to rest. It's good. It's a great thing to be a part of. So it's a wine education. It's a wine discovery club, but more importantly, it's a wine of the month club. Every month, we're going to get different wines shipped to our door. There's a lot of different ways that you can get involved. You could be a customer and just enjoy the luxury of fine wine added to your life every single month. You could get 4 bottles a month or 6 bottles a month. And if you just got 4 bottles a month, there's one for every Sunday. You plan all your Sunday dinners. If you wanted to get more than that, you can get more than that. You can be a customer, or you can be what we call an ambassador, which is a full member, where you can make this your side gig and supplement your income, or you could turn it into a career level income. Whatever your goals are, whatever you're looking for, whether you're a customer or a member, you can get free wine as well. Free wine or extra income to add to your retirement plan or change your careers or whatever you want to do with it. And all you got to do, get back to the person who invited you on this call, get back to the person who introduced you to Wine Ambassadors, and let them know, I would like to be a customer. It's that simple. Or I would like to be a ambassador. I want to be a full member. I want to make this a side gig. I want to be a part of what you guys are doing. I want to build something that's going to last for a couple of generations, like Niall was talking about on December 1st. With a product that I know is not going to go anywhere because it's been around for so long that it will be here way after we're gone. So I'm proud to be a part of this, but I'm really excited about sharing it with the rest of the world. When I was a little kid, there was a lot of wine in my family. I come from an Italian background. I used to have this dream when I grew up. I was going to own a vineyard in Tuscany. I was going to live that romantic lifestyle. And if you ever seen the movie Phyllis Rimmer, A Walk in the Clouds with Keanu Reeves, that whole romantic lifestyle of owning a vineyard, and how the whole community pitches in at harvest time, and then they have the big celebration at the end of harvest. That romantic lifestyle appealed to me when I was little. But something happened when I was about 14 years old. I got a job and I seen my first check and went, it's going to take me a long time to save up to buy a vineyard in Tuscany, boy. So that dream kind of faded away. But guess what, guys? Here we are right now, big circle of life. We're involved with a company called Wine Ambassador, and we get to take fine wines and introduce to the rest of the world. Not just Tuscany, not just our neighborhood, not just our state, but we can take it global. All over the world, we get to share this luxury food, this liquid art, Rory calls it, right? With everybody that we can get in contact with. So I'm really proud to be a part of that. And that's what we have. If you're looking to be a part of that, again, just get back to the person who invited you. So that hopefully gives you a good understanding of what we're doing here. Now let's run over to Mrs. Southward in Texas, right across the water from me, even though I still can't get my hands on those meatballs, even though you're right across the big pond there. How is your cheese ball looking?
The cheese ball is done. The trick to cheese balls, guys, is when you're ready to form it, so you keep your hand, because it's going to stick to your hands. Use parchment paper. Just parchment paper. So I made it into a ball while it was on the parchment paper, then sprinkled some of the pecans down and was able to roll the cheese ball through the pecans, and literally, with the wonders of a KitchenAid mixer with a paddle handle on it.
Yep, I just pinned it so I could see it. Delicious, beautiful, perfect. Look at that, wonderful.
It turned out very nicely, and all right. So
now let's hear what David says. How that Cab Sav pairs with that cheese ball, Dave.
I actually put it in the freezer for a little bit to harden up.
Mm.
All right, so.
Can't wait to hear what you say too, Smiley. But I know you've been snacking the whole time you're preparing there. So.
Wow, the cheese ball alone is really good.
What does that Cab Sav do to it, David?
The Christmas fire is burning in the heart. It is delicious.
It brings out more of it smooths out the cheese.
So the wine smoothed out the cheese. Is the cheese doing anything to the wine?
Oh yeah, it's bringing out some. I want to say more of the cherry, but I'm not sure if it's because of the plum brandy.
It could be.
It'll be a little of both. One of the reasons red wine, especially cabbage and like a cheese, heavy cheeses like that work, is because it'll cut through the very richness of the cheese and take some of the compounds, some of the flavor that's in cheese is not water soluble. It's only alcohol soluble. So you'll only taste it when you have it with a wine. So if you're just having the cheese on your own, you're not even tasting everything that's there. Well,
it also enhances the garlic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now Italians have known that for generations. And we're talking about this wine here, and you were talking about that, your childhood dream. And here's one of these wines that we're going to be making for a very long time, named after one of our very best members, Donna. And
she's here.
Donna, you gonna say hi to us?
Is Donna here? Let's find her.
Let's find her. We gotta talk to Donna.
Little birdie warned her we're gonna feature her wine tonight.
But yeah, and these are obviously, we make this a surprise, as you talked about the harvest and getting all together, and we did that this fall, and we were able to introduce the winner. And it turns out, because we just couldn't decide, we had to have two winners this year. This was one of them. The other is what's his name? Yeah,
that wine that we're going to feature at the end of the month.
Right. Yeah. Another wine that we're going to be making for a long time. It's a lot of fun for me because our leaders, the top people I get to know really well when we have our leadership summits and our events, So I know what, I try to understand your taste because I've got to pick a wine that's going to make you happy putting your name on it, even though you don't know it's coming. And I knew what Donna's favorite wines were, and I tried to pick one that matched exactly what she liked. And the same with the other one that we'll feature later in the month.
And I
So-
thank you, Peter. It's awesome.
There you are, Donna.
Hey, Donna.
Hi,
So
Adele.
I've got to know Donna over the years too. We've got together in Miami. We've had dinner in different restaurants. We've hung out together, and we got our jerseys at the same time out in Napa Valley. And I got to say that, yeah, that pairs with Donna. We're going to call it Donna. We're going to call her Donna Walker, even though her screen name says Donna Meyer. This pairs with the Donna Walker better than anything else that I could think of doing. So, Peter, you're quite good at what you do. But Donna, this is another big cheers to you for everything you've done over the years and what you continue to do, and what I know you're going to do for the years to come. Having your name on a label is an honor, and I'm just glad to be there to be part of that and see that too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's a huge honor to you, Niall.
And it's so good.
Isn't it though? Yeah. Yeah. And these dishes we picked tonight are all picked to pair beautifully with it. The cheese ball, and the nuts will also get enhanced by it. Nuts are one of these great things with wine. If you're more of those compounds that you just don't taste otherwise. And then the chili, we have a nice hearty wine with a lot of, when you get tannins in wine, that gives it the structure to stand up to a heavy dish like chili. And it'll also work beautifully with chocolate. So that's everything we have is chosen to pair with this wine tonight.
Did we get Linda back? We did get Linda back. Fantastic.
See what I did? I came into the big computer. Heck with the
see what you-
kitchen. I brought my bowl and my glass, and I'm good.
We did get Linda back. Fantastic. We're dying to hear how that Donna Walker pairs with
Well,
that chili.
I got news for you. I've been tasting it the whole time. It's delicious, but let me just do a little one here, so I don't slobber and stuff. Okay, Peter, it gives it a little bit more bite. What's the bite in the wine?
Well, the bite, some of the pepper components in the chili will pick out some of those, the bitter tannic aspects of the wine. But that's what you want. Your chili's not a tame dish to sit there quietly. You want to have it come out and bite you, right? So
Oh,
that's-
I'm happy over here. I just didn't know what that
Yeah,
that little
but
extra
that's
kick
what it
was.
is.
Mhm.
That's why cabs are great for big, heavy dishes. That's why you have it with steak. There's a lot with anything that has a lot of fat, a lot of richness. That's where those tannins will cut right through it and pair with it nicely. And then you have your more bright components, and they pick up on different aspects of the wine. So different parts of it. And of course, you put that wonderful cheddar on top, and we talked about how it works with cheeses.
Yes.
So it's a home run in a whole bunch of different ways.
I even have cheddar or mozzarella or provolone on top of my spaghetti. I just like my cheese.
Okay.
Linda, you ever put sour cream on top of your chili?
Oh
But
yeah,
once-
I've
once
done that
it's
too.
Good
already-
idea.
That's pretty good
Absolutely
too.
love
It's
sour
delicious.
cream. Yeah, I would weigh about 10 ton here at 90910.
It's quite heavy. That's why I said one spoonful in the middle of the bowl. That's it. I know some people like to turn their whole bowl of chili almost white. So almost like a white chili, but one spoonful in the middle is good, or some cheddar, or yeah.
And then there's
All
that
right.
good Cincinnati who puts the chili on top of spaghetti. So,
It just don't, boy. I don't know. Or chili on top of a salad. I've seen those too.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a taco salad. Mhm.
Yep, and it's that time of year. We got a lot of different ways to eat that chili. So just go ahead and ship some of that down here. Thank you, darling. So let's go up. We're gonna head up. We've had our appetizer, we've had our main dish, which is chili, and now we're gonna head up to see how dessert's going and what's happening in the kitchen over there, Mama Adele.
Well, we're just about ready to complete the cake. It's got whipped cream all over it. Then I have the crumbs from the cake. And we go like this. And we
Oh, there,
cover-
I pinned you. Now I can see it. Good.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
And you see how I rounded out the whipped cream to make it look like
Like a derby,
a brown derby. So
like a derby hat. Yeah. So,
that's about it.
so this is the
brown derby.
brown derby, and now let's slice into it. And,
Have a piece. Would you like a piece on that? Niall?
And not many people would probably think to pair a cake with a cab sav, would they, Peter? It's not
no,
gonna be-
but it's that chocolate is what does it for you, and
Yep.
even the richness of the whipped cream it's a lot of richness that you don't want to you would get lost otherwise. So it's actually a wonderful pairing, and
I think all too often when people think dessert, they start thinking at whites and sweet whites and or-
and sweet
or
whites are
rosé.
okay. Sweet whites are okay. It depends on the dessert, but sweet whites, you need something acidic. Chocolate cake is not acidic. And I mean, you hear about dessert wines. I love dessert wines. I am a huge fan, but those wines are not wines to go with dessert. Those are wines to have for dessert.
Right.
Chocolate has got to be paired with a red wine. That it's just.
I had
And
to see chocolate. I had to
And
go
of
get
course.
it.
Chocolate goes in anything, doesn't it, Stace?
Yeah.
so let me push the cake out of the way so the chef could have her slice.
Well, no.
Oh, well,
Show them.
they can see in the overhead view.
Oh, thanks.
So,
Speaking of chocolate, time
Yes.
for me to have my dessert.
What's that?
This would be a dark chocolate Reese's Thin that's gonna absolutely drive Deanna Young crazy as I open.
There you go. Oh,
Mm,
very
I
evil.
mean, if we can't pick on Deanna, we're just not trying.
Right.
Peter, you know how aged cheddar can get kind of overwhelming?
Yeah.
This cab sav is like cutting it down.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it what great? Yeah, that's why I love a cab with hearty cheeses like that. So
I gotta say,
here we-
just having a mouthful of that wine, Peter, before I had that dark chocolate, already made it. What a blend.
Yeah. And you don't need a sweet wine to pair. The dessert's already sweet. You just need to have the wine. So if you have any leftover from dinner, I know we've already gone into this in the past about this whole leftover wine concept, but
I don't understand it. I can't comprehend it. So
You
I
don't
guess
have
so many other things to worry about. I can't try to understand that whole leftover wine thing, Bill. I don't know.
but
Last.
and that cake, it's a very simple cake, but boy, is it good. It's not too overwhelmingly
It's really
cloying.
not too sweet. Yeah.
No, and it's all about how much sugar you put into the whipped cream, which a little lighter whipped cream kind of balances it out too. Let's see how.
Donna agrees with me.
Donna,
And and somebody said that cake looks a whole lot better than my Reese's cup. You better believe it does.
it is a beautiful combination. Yep. Chocolate cake and
So what changes more to you? Does the cake change the taste? Does the cake change the taste of the wine, or does the wine manipulate the taste of the cake? Which way does it go when you're pairing cakes?
well, let's get an opinion here. I'll weigh in after, but it's take a taste. And let's tell us what you think.
Hold on.
But this is one you want to serve at a holiday to show off. It's not too complicated, but it still looks impressive when you bring this to the table. So
I think the wine takes the taste from the cake.
Yeah, I agree. It picks out things from the chocolate, all the sort of fruity notes the chocolate has that get kind of buried normally come to life. And when you have a cake with strawberries in it, that even plays nicer together. And it just balances it all beautifully. And the wine is still that Ghana wine, but the cake, we're now tasting things that you just would have lost there otherwise.
Anybody want a piece?
I do. I know Peter definitely has my address, Adele.
Okay.
Got mine too.
Yeah, I ship you wine
Get the
every
back
month.
Yep. That's fantastic. Thank you guys for sharing so much. And Stacy, did you and David want to talk about your meatballs and how they went with the wine or not?
They went really good, but I gotta, you know what, guys, this is the one way to get great pictures of your own on your you know, when you're doing your cooking is get a picture. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking pictures of my food. So I created an entire plate for me
Oh,
of a
nice.
little bit of everything on it. And what did I do with my toothpicks? What's great about appetizers like this is no silverware. Toothpicks.
Yep.
And for the barbecue sauce, I did not make it. I haven't hidden it. I used the
My
Sweet Baby
fave.
Ruth.
Yep.
And the wine is bringing out some of the, like, I don't want to say black pepper, but more like a cayenne pepper. The flavor out of the barbecue sauce. And because we are in Texas and I made this mix here that is going to last for a while, I found this barbecue sauce. Emilio, you probably would have recommended me to use something else, but this was what was at HEB. And it does say by HEB on it, but it's a barbecue seasoning that I can't wait to try this seasoning, you guys, on some steaks.
Oh yeah. Good deal. Well, I think one of the things we learned tonight is sometimes people get a preconceived idea in their head of what normally goes with this and what normally goes with an appetizer and what normally goes with a dessert. And when people think desserts, they start thinking whites or sweets. But the idea, and I love learning more and more every single week as we match up different wines with different foods, is try something different. Tap into as many of these shows as you can. Read the tasting notes that Peter puts in the back office of Wine Ambassador. Find out, understand acidity and pH and all that stuff. And even though he gives you the best selection to go with that wine, try a few other things to go with that wine. All right? If you understand, if he gives you the best selection to go with that wine and you understand what it is about that best selection, you can pick 3 or 4 things that also go with that wine. Maybe not as good as the one Peter recommended, but they'll also go with that wine. So just experiment a little bit and get out there and learn and have fun with it, because it's a fun social thing to be a part of.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead, Stacey, you're going to say something.
Well, I was just going to say, I Googled what goes with Cabernet Sauvignon. I just Googled it on my phone. And then I hit my cabinets of cookbooks. Yeah, I have 2 cabinets of cookbooks. And my snack mix actually came out of a Pampered Chef cookbook.
Nice.
Pampered Chef. So my whole kitchen is almost Pampered Chef. But that's where I got it for that. And then to honor the fact that we're in Texas, our realtor, when we moved in, gave us this Texas cookbook. And that's, and so I was looking for one key ingredient that went with the Cabernet that I could pair with it and mix it up. And they also said pretzels. That's why I picked that snack mix. And they said barbecue. It's why I went with the snack mix and the barbecue sauce and hard cheeses and aged cheddar, beef. And it just kind of, And
the more you do it, the less you even got to think about it. You just start, as soon as you see the wine, you start getting several ideas to pack in there and go with it. It's just, we learn a little bit each week and each month and each year. And I love sharing that with the people that are around me all the time. I
Yeah.
took several bottles of wine up to my daughters for Thanksgiving dinner, Peter. Every one of them was a hit.
Yeah, I mean, and every wine can pair with things. There isn't an ideal pairing. This wine pairs with it because these things match together. This wine pairs because these things line up. In my head, I kind of think about, I sort of visualize tastes as like a 3D puzzle piece and how they fit together. And that's just what you get from practice. You can say, oh, okay, that'll go with that part of the wine. So when I talk about in the tasting notes, I talk about, well, it has some, some spice or some oak or things, cherry flavors, whatever it is. Think about how would cherry go with that? I mean, that's how that wine is going to go with that. Well, look at some of the notes and think about how would that combination, and there's really not a lot of bad combinations.
Well, and
Because
the
all
other
of them
thing
are
is
different.
that I look for when I'm cooking, Peter, especially at the holiday time, the last thing I want to do is spend all day in the kitchen cooking for people who are going to nitpick.
Yeah.
David started the meatballs at 2:00 this afternoon. They slow cooked all day. That didn't take any prep time. This mix took a total of maybe an hour because I had to melt the butter to pour on top of it with barbecue seasoning and Worcestershire sauce and mixed it all together and stirring it every 15 minutes. That's easy. Go sit down for 15 minutes, get back up when the timer goes off. Timer is key. Doing these took no time at all. It was my
Oh, yeah.
and salami and some peppers cut up. And then
That would probably be my favorite appetizer right there.
This I'm writing the page on.
Excellent.
It comes out of the Texas cookbook, but I've already told David when we were muted, I'm like, that's getting made again. Probably next week when his brother is here.
Right. You got to show it off. When it's that good, you got to show it off. And the second time, it's even better than the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
Seafood bowls. What would you pair?
Seafood bowls, like some seafood on rice.
No, bowls, like an appetizer bowl.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, with something like that, was it breaded or fried like that, or is it just
like a hush puppy or?
I don't know. She didn't say. She just said seafood bowls.
Okay. Well, I mean, seafood generally goes well with whites. Depends on, you want to get a little bit of acidity. Our rosés would do nicely too, but our Cabernets and most seafood are a really great combination. Especially if you have something like a breading where you get that kind of toasty notes that'll really pick it up nicely. Pretty much anything sort of bright and acidic is kind of what you want to do. Reds, unless you're getting into salmon or other flavors on the seafood that are different, you don't necessarily, sometimes you pair with not necessarily the main ingredient, but what you put around it. So, like a red sauce on something, now you can go to red wines. Or a really creamy sauce can also go nicely with red wines. But seafood, usually our Chardonnays are wonderful. If you don't think you like Chardonnays, try some anyway. I'm going to change your mind.
Okay, before I place that order, what about tiramisu?
Okay, well, tiramisu again goes beautifully with whatever red you had with your dinner. The Rickard Merlot would be wonderful with the tiramisu. You can also go with our Moscato that's shipping this month would be very nice with it too. Even the rosés would play well with it because those bubbles against the cream kind of play very nice.
Okay.
If somebody asked about a white cake, Peter, instead of a chocolate cake, I'm going to lean toward the rosé or a sparkling, right?
I think it depends what else goes with the cake. The cake itself is kind of a blank canvas because a white cake still has notes of vanilla that comes out great against the red flavors. So if you just had whipped cream or berries with that white cake, it would go great with a Pinot. It's chocolate. What's your frosting? What else is going with it?
White cake.
Yeah, again, it's not an acidic food, so you don't want to go with like our Pinot Grigio or something like that, or even the rosé. You want to go maybe a Chardonnay, which has some richness, or go into the reds.
Chardonnay. Yeah.
Yeah, because vanilla is one of those great things with red wine.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
I
for all the
love
knowledge.
learning about food. I love wine. Hey, hi, my name is Niall and I love wine, but I also love food. And when you take the two things that I love the most and learn how to pair them together, match them up, the more one makes the other one better, I'm in heaven. So yeah, welcome to heaven. All right, so guys, Linda, Stacy, Peter, thank you so very much. We're almost at that hour mark. I can't thank you enough for getting on here, starting off December. Fantastic. With the great December chili, fantastic appetizers, and Peter's mama Adele's recipe. What was that dessert called? Yeah, brown derby. Brown derby, fantastic. I can't thank you guys enough. So see you all next week on the Wine and Dine, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. We got some great cooks coming up.
AM.
AM.
AM. Did I say AM? 8:30 p.m. I was
You'll
looking
be
over here. I don't know why I said AM. Well, we could do two. We could do two next Wednesday if you want, 8:30 a.m. Then another one at 8:30 p.m. Let's stick with just the 8:30 p.m. one. Yeah, thanks, Phyllis. Let's stick with the 8:30 p.m. one. We got some great cooks lined up for you. Then we have Doug Cartwright and his wife Kelly going to be cooking. Victoria Rains and another special guest that's coming next week. And who knows what we might pair it with? We might choose the Antonio. We might choose the Rickard. We might choose the Hudson. I don't know, but we're going to feature another great wine next week. Yeah, Phyllis. Yeah. We might never know. We're going to feature something great, though. So thanks for tuning in. Get with the person who invited you here if you're brand new or you're a guest. And thank you, everybody else, again, for participating, as well as thank you for the questions, because your questions that he answered help all of us get that information. So have a great night. God bless, and we'll see you next week.